Hello everyone. Today we will be converting fractions to decimals. And we are only going to be working with fractions where the denominator is a power of 10. Okay, so we've learned before of how to convert decimals to fractions. For example, if you have a decimal like this becomes, this number here is the numerator, and the denominator starts with 1, and the number of 0 has to equal the number of numbers after the decimal point. So since there's only one number after the decimal point, it means there's only going to be 1 0. If I have a number like this, 0.17, this number is going to be the numerator. The denominator is going to start with 1. And since I have two numbers after the decimal point, I am going to have 2 zeros in the denominator. And we've also learned how to convert mixed decimals. For example, if I have this one, I need to look at the whole number part, and the decimal part separately. Okay, and that's going to be 12. The whole number is just going to be 12. The decimal part is going to be 5, the numerator, and 10 in the denominator because there's only one number after the decimal point. Notice we're not counting the numbers before the decimal point to determine the number of zeros that's going to be there. And then, of course, you reduce this to 12 and 1/2. Okay, so this is how you changed decimals to fractions. And today we're just going to go the other way. And I am guessing it's not going to be that hard. If you're able to do, or if you're able to convert decimals to fractions, then I'm sure converting from fractions to decimals won't be that hard either. So let's start with a fraction like this, 7/10. How do you convert this to a decimal? Well, first of all, just write this number, the numerator. Okay, just write that number and count the number of zeros in the denominator. So notice we're kind of working this backwards of how to convert from decimals to fractions. Since there's 1 0, there's only 1 0, you start here. So start after the number, and we're going this way, okay? So we just go one place because there's only 1 0. So just go one place like this and put a decimal point there. Okay, so this number is going to become 0.7 when you convert it to a decimal. Okay, that wasn't too hard, right? Let's try another number. 3/100. Okay, we're converting this to a decimal. Again, just write the numerator, 3. Okay, and count how many zeros there are. There are 2 zeros here. 2 zeros. So starting here, you count 2 places. 1, 2, and then put a decimal point here. And to show that there's a missing place here, you have to put a 0 here like this. Okay, so now this is going to become 0.03. Okay, so you can picture this as you went 2 places from here. Let me actually use a different color to show you how the decimal moved. Okay, so it moved 2 places because there were 2 zeros. And to show that we moved 2 places, we put a 0 here. Let's try another number. Let's have 4 out of 1,000. 4 out of 1,000. Okay, so again, just write the numerator first. Okay, you just write 4. And then count how many zeros. How many zeros are there? There are 3 zeros this time. Okay, so starting here, we're going to go 3 places. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so put a decimal point here after the 3 places. And then since there are empty spaces here, you have to put zeros here. Okay, so now that is going to become 0.004. And you can actually check your answer if so let's say you've got this answer, and if you want to check that you got the right answer, try and change this back to a fraction. So if you change this back to a fraction, that's going to be the numerator. The denominator is going to start with 1, and the number of zeros in the denominator has to equal, right, the number of digits after the decimal point. So you have to put 3 zeros here. And check, is this the same fraction that you had in the beginning? And in this case, it is. So this is how you can check whether you've done your work correctly. This is going to be the answer, and this is just you're checking if you got the right answer by converting it back to a fraction and see if you get the same fraction you had in the beginning. Okay, let's try a few more questions. All right, let's try and convert 13 out of 1,000. 13 out of 1,000. How would that change to a decimal? Okay, so again, just write the numerator. Just write the numerator. And this time we have 3 zeros. 3 zeros. So we're going 3 places. 1, 2, 3. Okay, put a decimal point here, and then we have a blank space here, so put a 0 there. Okay, so that is going to be 0.013. Okay, and what if we have, whoa, I don't know what happened there. What if we have a mixed number? For example, if I have 7 and 8 over 100, how do you change this to a decimal? All right, so just write the whole number first. Write the whole number first. Okay, write the whole number right here. And then now you don't have to worry about the whole number. Let's just look at the fraction part. Okay, 8 over 100. How would you change 8 over 100? Okay, you just write 8 first. And then since there are 2 zeros, you go 2 places. 1, 2. And this is where the decimal point is going to go. And this space here, there's going to be a 0 here. So the answer is going to be 7.08. Okay, so if you have a mixed number, break them up into the whole number and the fraction part, and just write the whole number as it is and change the fraction part to a decimal part. Okay, let's do one last problem. Oops, let me use my black pen here. So we have 13 and 57 over 100, or let's do 1,000. Okay, how do you change this to a decimal? Again, let's look at these separately, the whole number part and the fraction part. Just write the whole number first so that we don't have to worry about the whole number. And then the fraction part is going to be 57, just write 57. And since there are 3 zeros, you go 3 places. 1, 2, 3, like this. And put a 0 there since there's a blank space there. Okay, so the answer is going to be 13.057. Okay, so that's how you change fractions to decimals and also mixed numbers to decimals.